This week will be April Fool's Day. Historians believe that April Fool's Day dates back to 1582, when France switched from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar, as called for by the Council of Trent in 1563. People who were slow to get the news or failed to recognize that the start of the new year had moved to January 1st and continued to celebrate it during the last week of March through April 1st became the butt of jokes and hoaxes. These pranks have included having paper fish placed on their backs and being referred to as Poisson d'Avril or April fish, said to symbolize a young, easily caught fish and a gullible person. And here you are, listening to this podcast. That makes you, listener, the biggest April fish of them all. You tried it! You tried that. April Fools. I'm Nick Novak with my pals Chad Hancock.
Howdy.
Nick Geiger.
What up, pimps?
Yep.
Just trying stuff out.
Is that April Fool's joke or what?
No, that didn't work. That didn't work. Take two. What's your second pitch?
Sure. What up, April fish?
Yeah.
Glub, my fish.
Have you guys ever successfully pulled any meaningful April Fool's prank?
I don't think so, because I kind of hate April Fools now.
Now?
I feel like it used to be funny, and now it's like this thing that every brand tries to capitalize on by like making their website goofy for a day or whatever, you know what I mean? And it just feels like so unoriginal and tired to me that I'm just like over the whole holiday.
I used to, not really for April Fools. In fact, I don't think I ever did on April 1st at all. But I would once in a while just randomly come home and tell my wife someone famous died. I don't know. And she'd be like, oh, really? She'll believe me no matter what it is. Like, oh, yeah, Jack Lemmon died. Huh? And like, it's like, who cares? Like,
Jack Lemmon? That's
like,
the prank you pulled?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like a completely random celebrity that still is like someone she would know.
Right.
So, but it wasn't really from April Fools. Also, my wife is kind of like living in constant April. She is a continual April fish. She is very gullible. So it's not limited to a day.
Chad, you have recently dealt with some April Fools on the social medias. Is that correct?
On the social medias, really?
Was it on Nextdoor or something like that?
Oh, no. It was not Nextdoor. It was an actual neighbor in my neighborhood.
Oh, the original social media.
People talk to someone. Talk to actual neighbors at this point?
Yeah. No, this was a woman I talked to in person, which I know is like unfathomable.
Oh, you talked to a woman? Congrats, man.
So just to set the context, like the way our house is, there's a set of stairs going up to our house, and out there in front next to the steps is like a garden box, right? It has like a couple of plants in it, like some jade trees and some flowers and stuff like that. And if there's one thing I don't care about in this world, it's like lawn care and gardening and having plants that look nice, right? Like I am not a plant guy. I am not Mr. Plant.
Sure.
To the extent where when I was a kid, my chore was to mow the lawn, where I was supposed to like mow the backyard, and I hated doing it. So I would like never do it. And then my mom would like offer to pay me $20, which was like a lot of money when we were like 12. All I have to do is mow the lawn like twice and I can get a new video game, and I would still like refuse to do it.
20, but I had to mow the lawn to live in my house. I got no extra benefit.
I would have mowed your lawn if I knew it was $20.
$20. I drove up to Gurnee from Wisconsin and cut your mom's lawn.
Oh, I was a spoiled piece of shit. I think also like neighbors actually complained to her because like the grass was getting so long, and the neighbors would like complain like, when are you going to mow your lawn? And then I'd finally get around to it, but the grass had gotten so long, and I would just try to like run the pushing mower over it, and it'd get clogged constantly. So then it'd take me 5 times longer than it would. Look, I was stupid. All right. So anyways, so up until recently, we basically took no care of this like garden box in the front, but recently we finally like hired a gardener to come in once a month and sort of take care of things and clean it up and make it look nice. So they've been doing that now for 6 months or so, and things start to look really nice. We've got a new lemon tree in the front box and everything like that. So it's great. It's going great. That's the context. So rewind about 2.5 years ago, something like that. Our front box still looks like shit, obviously. But we did have these like little purple flowers that would grow that were kind of pretty. They'd grow periodically. So I'm out walking my dog one morning before work. I'm coming back up the hill to the house, and I see this old woman, like maybe mid 60s, and she's doing something to those pink flowers in our garden box. And I start to get closer. I'm like, oh, what's going on? I finally get like up there, and I just walk right up to her, and I see she's like tending to the garden, like weeding and like clipping things. I just walked right up to her, and I'm like, can I help you? And she was like very surprised. She's like, oh, I think these flowers are so pretty. And, I don't know if you've noticed, but like I've been coming by for the last 2 years, like taking care of these flowers.
What?
And so I guess she would walk by our house every so often and just like make that particular area of the garden box look nice.
Okay, let's rewind. You, for the last 2 years, have assumed the flowers just stopped growing periodically? You didn't notice that?
I did not notice because I don't even look at that shit. I just walk right on past it. Don't care. Just go right up the steps back into the house. So I just looked at her. I was like, no, I haven't noticed, but thanks. And then she like walked away. Okay, now jump ahead to about 7-8 months ago, a little before we hired this gardener.
Is she still tending it up to that point when you hired the gardener?
I think so. Well, okay, so up to about 8 months ago, I think she still had been tending it. So then we come home from being out one day, and my wife noticed all the flowers are gone. And we look, and there's just a big pit there where those flowers used to be. She's like, somebody stole our flowers. And I'm like, I wonder who that could have been. Probably this fucking crazy lady that's coming around and like just staring at our flowers.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, who cares? So then we get the gardener, things are nice. So just 2 days ago, we come home in the evening, and we're like about to head up the steps. I got my baby in my hands, and she comes walking up. This woman comes walking up. It's the first time I've seen her since like 2.5 years ago. And she doesn't recognize me at all because she hasn't seen me since then. Important note, she's holding a handful of cut flowers. And she walks up to us and she says, oh, are you guys new here? I was like, what? And she's like, well, because all of a sudden, like, the garden looks nice, and the people who lived here before, they never took care of it. So I like stopped her right then, and I'm like, oh, no, that was us. We just finally like got around to hiring a gardener. And she's like, oh, and then she just realized, right, she had been like insulting us right to our face, right. Basically.
Right.
And then she's like, oh, well, it looks really nice right now. My wife had no idea who this person was. So like, then we walk up the steps, and my wife's got like a big smile on her face. Like, oh, she like really noticed how nice the thing is. And I'm like, yeah, you know who that is? That's this fucking psycho bitch that I told you about.
Right.
That wants to like bang our plants or something.
Wait, so she talked to you 2 years ago and didn't realize you were the homeowner she was like talking to?
Or she just forgot what I looked like.
That's true.
She's like, some ugly dumb shits used to live here.
Yeah.
Unlike these flowers, I couldn't be less attracted to the guy who lived in this house. Oh shit! Sorry.
Has she, now that she doesn't have to tend your flowers, has she been tending to your child, just feeding her?
I don't know if you noticed, but for the past 2 years, I've been coming and cutting clippings of your daughter's hair every day.
There's not one thing on this earth I care less about than the appearance of my child. Like, I just walk by that shit every day and I don't even look.
I just throw her in a fucking potato sack. Just set her about on her way.
What do this lady's flowers look like? They better be impeccable.
I have no idea where this woman lives. I've only ever seen her twice, and both times were directly in front of my house.
This is like some San Francisco shit right here. Like, this is... Nobody does that over here. No one comes preemptively offers free lawn care to my house.
I should scour the entire neighborhood every single house, see which one has my flowers out in the flower box in front of their house, so that I can like toilet paper this woman's house or something.
Will you take them back? Take back what's yours.
Nah, whatever. I'd rather have the lemon tree.
They're in a better home right now.
Yeah, actually, I probably would have killed them before too long.
It's really for the best.
I would have, quote unquote, accidentally stomped all over them.
Just walk up to the flowers that she has now planted and be like, it's time for these flowers to live the life they were meant to live, and just rip them out and whip them onto the ground.
Yeah. So you guys never had to deal with any psycho neighbors like that?
I definitely have had strange neighbors before that have done weird things, but not tended to my lawn.
Yeah.
I would actually really enjoy those neighbors.
I wouldn't have minded it if she was like tending to the other stuff, but like the jade tree still looked like shit. You know, like, I mean, in for a penny, in for a pound. Tend my whole lawn for free.
when we moved into our house, the neighbors were telling us like the first couple days, the last people who lived here did not keep up with their lawn, didn't do a great job with it. It looked like trash, and it was like right around when my kids are being born, and so those next couple of years, I did next to nothing with the lawn, and it looked like trash, and I could tell that it really pissed them off. It's the same. They're just, I mean, does anyone who feels that way usually under 60? Like, chances are probably not.
I like mowing my lawn. It's like an hour that I can just be outside and listen to a podcast, like this great podcast, and not have to talk to my kids and my wife.
Escape the drudgery that is your life.
Right. Yeah. I can get a break from the drudgery of my life by drudging around my lawn with a lawnmower. It's none of my neighbors have ever done something useful for me like that. I mean, the guy next door has been helpful once in a while, but I never like though we had crazy neighbors back in my old house. I think I even told the story already, but he would just bring over he would like creepily stare at like women that were at my house, like my sister and my wife, or he would bring over some porn he said he found in the street and wanted to know if it belonged to one of us during the middle of like a Memorial Day party.
Ah, the old street porn.
Yeah. He's like, he brings up this bag and he's like, Nick, come here. Like, I'm having a party in my backyard, like 40, 50 people. Like, yeah, what's up? I'm kidding. It's like 20, I don't know, 50 people. I came up and he was like, hey, is this you? I didn't want to embarrass any of your guests in case it was one of theirs, but I found this in the street. And he holds up this like black bag with like a DVD that's like, has something Naughty Schoolgirl 7 or something. I'm like, no, Jerry, I don't think that DVD of porn belongs to anyone here. Are you sure? And I'm like, it's like 2013. No one knows to buy pornography. What do you do? He's like, all right, well, I just want to make sure that he's like, I just didn't want to make a scene. I'm like, you're making a scene now. So, and then I think he just kept it. It was probably a cover for his wife to be like, oh, no, Nick's friends found it in the street, but it's fine. I can keep it. And he just furiously beat off then.
Oh, was he the guy who was tending to the box of porn that you had out in front of your house?
he would come over. There's one thing I don't care about. It's the quality and upkeep of my pornography. The guy would just walk by and just like polish the DVD box and burnish the VCR cover.
But then one day they were all gone, and so
one day they're all gone.
You just hired a couple to have sex out on the porch now?
Man, the people that owned this house before just jacked off to some substandard material. Oh, that was me. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, sorry. I don't mean to shame you for your kinks.
Yeah, I mean, I literally don't care what, for the most part, I don't care like what my neighbors' yards look like or whatever, but there's one house in our neighborhood that I definitely would not want to live next to. There's an area there's like a block away where there's just all these old, I would say classic cars, but they're not really classic. They're like cars from 1950. But when you think about like 1950s cars that people own today, right? They're like all nicely restored and polished and stuff. These ones look like fucking shit. I'm not kidding. The like seats are ripped. The windows are broken. There's like old tube TVs or microwaves in the back seat of all of them. But like the guy will still put a club on the steering wheel for some reason.
Microwaves
And
in the back seat?
I'm not
Like,
making
does he
that up.
strap
I'm
them
not
in and
making that up.
use them? Like,
I
making
don't
Hot
know.
Pockets?
Plus, you said microwaves plural. So
There's just tons of shit in these cars. And so he parks them all over the street, right? He has a collection of maybe like 10 of these different cars. So we never knew like the extent that this thing went until one day the house that is next to him went on sale and they had an open house. And you know me, I like to go to open houses so that when I walk past that house, I can say, I've been inside you.
That's right.
Yeah, you're famous for that quote.
Yeah, you know me. So we go to the open house and you can see into this guy's backyard. He's got 2 more cars in his backyard, which now this is San Francisco, right? So getting a car into a backyard is no small task because the backyard is completely fenced in from all directions.
Drove it through his dining room or something.
Both cars piled high with microwaves.
Oh, this guy was the worst hoarder of all time. Like his entire backyard looked like a junkyard, like just tons of shit. And then since then I've like walked past his house and his front door has been open and I've seen inside and it's just like horrible hoarding, like stacks of stuff. So I wouldn't want to live next to him, but other than that I don't really care.
There was this one lady that lived in our neighborhood. I wouldn't like not close enough to be really called a neighbor, but tangential enough. And got to, I don't know how she met my wife. They got to be kind of friends. And then she started kind of becoming a little unhinged. And like Betsy was concerned as to like she felt for this woman, but didn't really want to continue hanging out with her. It was like literally got to the point where she asked Betsy one time to drive by a particular hotel to see her husband's car was there. And she's like, yeah, no, I'm busy. And then she's like, what do I do? I can go see if that guy's fucking someone. I don't know.
And he wasn't there because he was out fucking in your porno box.
I was going to say, drop him off some of his vintage porn. I sent her over there with a porno and a microwave so he had something to eat and jack off to, and then came home.
Do you think the on that porno that guy found, was it vintage enough that the women's bushes looked like my garden? Like just full out of control?
Unkempt? Yeah, I mean, probably, yeah. It was very vintage. I remember that. They all wore condoms and monocles.
It was just a straight up jade tree down there.
Yeah. It's a big jade tree. If I knew what a jade tree was, I could probably go further with that joke. But it's a real V tree, if you know what I mean.
No, jade.
Oh, I think it's a J tree. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Well, that really doesn't clear it up. I don't know what that is either. So, yeah, no, monocles and top hats and, oh, I'm arriving. I'm arriving. That's just they yell instead of saying I'm coming.
Great. Well, we've arrived at the part of the podcast where we need to eat snacks. So
just so smooth, no egg. Just so smooth.
Yes, we have 3 snacks today with no real connection. We rate them on a 5. A lot of our episodes have had a connection. This one does not. We rate them on a 5-point scale. A love dat, like dat, indifferent to dat, dislike dat, or hate dat. Let's start with the Munch bar. So Munch is actually speaking of porn, is a Mars bar from the Mars company. So I was reading up about it a little, and it used to be like called Snickers peanut. Like when it first came out, was some kind of weird variety of Snickers. But what it is basically just, it's like a little Payday-ish in that it's just a bunch of peanuts. It's kind of peanut brittle-y, actually. We've got this, I've started seeing this out at stores, at a lot of different stores recently. If you guys had this,
yeah, I was gonna say they should just call this Peanut Brittle the bar.
No, I don't think it's new. I think it's old, actually.
I don't think it's new because my wife saw it and was very excited, and she's like, "Save that for me. Take 1 bite and save the rest." That's what she said. But guess what? I'm about to take a second bite.
It is.
This thing just splintered all over my laptop.
It's much thicker. It's almost like full peanuts held together with what I don't know, just sticky sugar. I don't. Do you guys like Payday? Do you like that bar?
I don't really know. I can't tell you when I last had one.
I think I had it for the first time fairly recently, and I wasn't really blown away. Is it similar to this? I'm trying to. It's like kind of more Snickers bar shaped, right? The Payday.
Yeah, but it is just a lot of peanuts and like not much to it, which
Yeah.
this is so very heavily peanuts. 90% of what you're eating is just full peanuts.
I like this more than I remember liking the Payday when I tried it.
Geiger, you are up first. So, what do you think of the Munch bar?
I am a bit surprised. I went in thinking this would suck. I don't mind peanut brittle, but it's just kind of meh. I would never pick it, and this just seemed like like a stale store bought version of that. But for some reason, I kind of like it. I like saltier kind of snacks, which is this has got that salty peanut quality, and it's good peanut flavor because it's mostly just peanuts. I wouldn't say I'd pick this every day. I will give this a mild like that. I actually don't think the Munch bar is all that bad.
Wow. Like that to start. Chad, do you agree?
I think it's good. I'm also really surprised. I really enjoyed this actually. I do like peanut brittle, although it's not something I eat very much. And this is peanut brittle bar. It's good. It's a good execution of it. When I first took the bite, I was like, "Oh, do I love this?" But I don't. I think it is missing one little extra component that would really, take it up to that top tier. I don't know if that's chocolate or caramel or something. But even so, this is actually getting a very, very strong like that for me. I think this is a good bar.
Whew. I gotta tell you, I think we ate different bars because I cannot disagree more. I did not like it. I took a couple bites, and I do like peanuts. It just wasn't good. I just thought the taste was. It did not make me want to go back for more. The flavor wasn't great to me. I just don't know where you guys are coming from. What you're tasting that I'm not. But
We're
I
tasting the
am.
Munch bar.
I'm. Oh wait, I was eating the Girl Scout cookie. No, I'm gonna give it a very solid, middle of the road dislike that. So we have 2 likes and a
Interesting.
dislike, but the majority of us seem to like it, and it is a slightly positive rating for the Munch Bar. Let's go next to the Chocoramo Mini. And this is from a company called Ramo, and it's the Chocoramo Mini. And it looks like it is most of the language on here is Spanish. Chad, do you know anything about this? Because Dave got this, right?
Yeah, this came from my brother David. Thank you, David. He sent this actually. We've been holding on to this one for a little while, trying to slot it in. He sent us this at the same time that he sent us the Slate chocolate milk, which I think we drank maybe 6 months ago, but it's probably still good, right? Uh, so that's all I know about it. I think he got it at like a Mexican restaurant or something. I don't know what's in it.
I have no idea what's in it. It's just a small. It almost looks like a Hostess product type of thing. Oh, it's very.
Yeah, it's just a fat little squat bar covered in chocolate.
This is very weird.
What the f?
So inside is like a cookie kind of thing, like a soft cookie. Is it a cookie?
It's almost. It looks. I broke it apart before I bit it. It looks like a yellow cake when you
Yeah, I was
see
gonna
it.
say it's like stale angel food cake.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess it's less cookie and more stale cake.
I mean, it was packaged. I assume that's what it's supposed to taste like. I don't know if it's just stale and stale.
Yeah, I don't see a Best Buy date anywhere on these things.
Ugh.
Maybe we should have ate these 6 months ago.
I think I'd rather eat something from Best Buy.
Ugh. Okay, Chad, you're up first.
It's not that bad.
Okay.
The inside is not great. I see what they were trying to do. They failed miserably. But the chocolate's not terrible. I don't know. It's kind of average chocolate. I don't hate this, but we've tried a lot worse stuff on this podcast. I think it's going to get a very, very, just barely slided into dislike that. It's not great, but it's not that bad.
Here's the thing. It is that bad. It's. I don't know what the hell this is. If you told me that it wasn't food, you could sell me on that because it doesn't. The inside resembles nothing I can think of that is edible.
I have news for you. It's not food. It's a 70s porno tape.
It's 100% made of 70s porn star pube.
What porn has the word mini in the title? Probably not many. I'm gonna say I think this is terrible. The chocolate's not good. I don't. You're the guy who's so picky about the quality of chocolate, and you said this chocolate isn't bad. This chocolate's fucking terrible. It's awful. The inside's terrible.
Yeah,
I
maybe you're
can't
right.
eat any more of it. I'm gonna give this a hate dat. I hate this.
Wow.
Thing. Yes, Geiger. What do you think?
This is fucking trash. This is so bad. I don't know. Like
Maybe I should
Novak
take
said,
another bite.
if you told me, Chad, why? Why? You already said you don't like it. Why are
Why
you
is
eating
this
it?
a hate dat? I'm trying to figure out why you guys are giving.
Here's
you guys
why
are
it's a hate
hating
dat.
it.
A, if you told me this was made in 1971, I would believe you. The package looks that old. This probably is in the back seat of a 1950s car shoved in a microwave somewhere. It's so dry on the inside, and the insides don't taste like anything. It's just like dry, like your great grandmother's antique leftover cookie. It's so weird, and the chocolate on top, like
I was
Novak
wondering
said,
where you were going with that.
Your great grandmother's antique cookie?
jade
What?
tree, like a family heirloom. That's how old it is. Is what I'm trying to get to here. It's covered in like this terrible chocolate. I don't see on any earth why anyone would eat this again. It's a hate dat. It tastes. The aftertaste is awful.
To me, this is the same quality as like 90% of like the Hostess or Little Debbie stuff that we ate. Like, I feel like you guys are having a way stronger reaction to this than is justified.
This is like a Hostess, like a ding dong or something like that. But if you had unwrapped and left the ding dong sit in the sun for a week.
Right.
Is this your great grandma's antique ding dong?
Yes. That sounds a lot worse. Great grandpa's antique ding dong. If you had like if it was fresh maybe or something, like I think Novak hit it on the head. The taste is probably not what's putting me off so much. The fact that it's just like a brick of dry shit. Like it's so stale tasting. Maybe if it had been new, I don't know. But the thing is, I don't know if this is fresh. This could have been from yesterday for all I know. Well, I know it's not yesterday because I've had it for like
That's
6
not
months.
yesterday.
But yeah, that's I think what I'm reacting to. It just tastes so stale.
It is stale and dry. It makes the astronaut ice cream taste like a cool, refreshing drink on a hot day. It's disgusting. It's got 2 hates and a dislike. Not quite a flaming bag of dog shit, but very close. And it is now segment time. Geiger, what you got?
Yeah. Sorry, I just realized too that Chad is putting up all this argument to drag it up to a dislike from us. Like, I don't know what the fuck the point is there.
I'm just surprised by the visceral hate. That's all.
All right, that's fair. All right, segment time. So, I was talking to Novak earlier today. When the original time this was going to air was a bit more timely for this segment because it was going to be right before. By the time this airs, it was supposed to have come out the day before my birthday, and it was right around the time of the NFL Combine. So I was going to use a little birthday prerogative to turn this into a football thing, but now it lacks all of that context, and we're going to do it anyway.
April Fools.
It would have lacked that context anyways, because nobody knows when your birthday is.
Right. Or what an NFL Combine is, other than 4 people that listen to this. So real briefly, the NFL Draft is a day in like late April, early May, in which all the NFL teams get together and select college football players to play on the professional football teams.
Boy, we were really assuming our listeners don't know shit about.
Well, half our listeners don't follow football. I don't fucking know.
Football is a sport where 2 teams line up with a pigskin.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I know about football.
You spent 10 minutes describing the depth and shape of your flower box. My apologies for going through the draft combine.
Describe what a porno is to people.
See, a porno is where professionals fuck each other for that cash while we get to watch.
When 2 unkempt bushes love each other, they make a 70s porn.
So who taught you that everyone in a porn is in love? Who taught you that?
70s porn.
it's
They love each other.
two hairy people. It's two people that don't shave their testicles or their vaginas, and they're deeply, madly in love.
Look, maybe I just watch porn with a lot of cuddling, okay?
Did you just watch your parents have sex and you thought that was what porn was?
Have two people in porn ever been in love with each other? Has it ever in the history of porn happened?
I'm sure there's been like a husband-wife porn team before.
Tommy Lee, Pam Anderson were deeply in love.
Geiger, get your fucking segment back on the rails. You're again, you.
Okay,
you piece of
don't
shit.
ask me the porn question, then be mad we're talking about it. Fucking shit. Anyway, so the combine is where, and it doesn't fucking matter. So
it's when two NFL players love each other, and then
they decide how quickly they can fuck. So one of the fun things about football that the show, if you ever watch the show Key and Peele, they highlighted is that how fun some of the people's names are, and by fun I mean just kind of unique and different and kind of increasingly preposterous. So we like name challenges here. So today I have 3 rounds for each of you. You're going to be given 3 names. 2 of these are the names of actual upcoming NFL prospects, and then one of the names is generated by the NFL football simulation game Madden. So I re-downloaded my copy of Madden from a couple years ago and simmed a few seasons until I got some goofy names that were just auto-generated from the computer algorithm in the system. So you have to identify which name is the Madden name and which are the real players. Got it? All right.
Is one New England Patriots quarterback Tom Jatry?
No, no, not one of them. There is a Fred Chocoramo, and he was born in 1871. I think we ate the original football. It's still in my fucking mouth. Okay. Which one of you would like to go first?
Me.
All right. I'm going to read them all off and simultaneously guess. All right, Chad, you're just going to go. All right. So here are your 3 names. Do you want their positions in colleges, or do you care?
No, I don't care.
All right.
Sure.
That'll help. That context will help. No, okay. Number 1, Yetur Gross Matos, Maven Veltung, or Legarius Sneed.
Wait, so what are their positions? Missionary or?
169. Pro-abortion. No.
This is the combine, right? Where 2 NFL players combine.
Yeah, right. They all create one Voltron-like player named Yetur Veltron Sneed.
I'm sorry. Okay, run through the names again. Sorry.
Yetur Gross Matos.
Yeah.
Maven Veltung, or Legarius Sneed.
I'm gonna say Maven Velton's the fake one.
Nice work. You are correct. Chad, you get +1 there. All right, Novak, your turn.
Yep.
You've got Taviuzi Rivers, Cole Chewins, or Clavan Chason.
I'm going to say Rivers is the fake one.
You guys are good at this. That's number 2 there for you.
Wow.
Taviuzi Rivers. Clavan Chason is probably going to be a first-round pick, actually.
What about Chewy? Chewy, what is face?
Cole Chewins, who's a defensive tackle from, I think it's Michigan State. All right, here we go. Chad. Garif Calhoun, Shaquille Quarterman, or Kayahua Tazino.
Is it Garif Calhoun, the brother of Landis?
Yes.
All I can think of with Quarterman wasn't Quarterman the name of Sean Connery in that League of Extraordinary Gentlemen movie that you and I used to quote all the time?
It was Quartermain. Yeah, it was
Quartermain.
The game is set. The match. I can't remember the quote. Yeah.
I'm waiting to be impressed. That's what we used to say all the time.
That movie was hilarious.
Okay, so sorry. It was Quarterman and what are the other 2?
Quarterman, Nickelman. No. Garif Calhoun.
Yeah.
Shaquille Quarterman. And Kayahua Tazino.
All right, Garif Calhoun.
Jesus, maybe this is too easy. You guys are all nailing them.
Just complete guesses.
Yeah, I would have guessed Cole Chewbacca for the second one, so I would have guessed
Cole Chewins.
Oh, Chewins.
Pretty sure a guy whose last name is Chewbacca. It was probably made up. I'm getting just a hint, guys. All right. Novak. Lloyd Cushenberry III, Shundrez Beverly, or Jaquarius Landrews?
Would the game put a third on there? I'll say the last one's the fake one. Landrews.
Ooh, our first miss. It is Shundrez Beverly that was fake.
Oh.
Lloyd Cushenberry III makes me crack up. I just picture like a guy like going out to play football in like a tuxedo or something.
Yeah, anytime you have like the third after your name, you just assume Snooty.
Yeah.
More Cushenberry for the Pushenberry.
Actually, the funniest things about these Madden names when you go through is not necessarily the names, but like the generated picture next to them, because let's just say some of them don't seem ethnically sound. I'm not judging. I'm just saying like Jamal Aquarius Darius, and so it says white, blue-eyed, brown-haired guy. Like, yeah, guessing not, but I don't know. Okay.
Maybe he's adopted.
Yeah, right. Who knows? Again, no judgments. All right, last round. Chad, Luckman Barku, Kilo Rodenhauser, or Thacarius Keys?
It's not the last one. It's either Luckman or Kilo.
Luckman or Kilo?
I'm going to say Kilo.
Chad, a perfect 3 for 3.
Wow. This man.
Look at
I
you.
know how video games work.
Okay, yeah, that's true. None of these are F-Zero characters, so I made sure of that. All right. Well, Novak, you have no more chance to win, but just for old time's sake here.
Yep.
Elorm Lumor, Rico Dowdle, and Margarito Talton.
I want the first. I'd say the first one.
Elorm Lumor is a real person, believe it or not.
Oh.
Margarito Talton is the made-up one. Funnily enough, I did 3 simulated seasons because I was trying to see if there's anything goofy. Someone was named Margarito in all of them somehow. And then I went online to see if there was funnier examples like on Reddit, and one of them was Margarito Veal. I'm like, is that someone's fucking cousin or something? They keep putting him in the game. So, Chad, you dominated this contest. Nice work.
There probably aren't many people that know as much about video games as Chad and still have like the fraction of football knowledge. As Chad has at least some small amount of football knowledge. But amongst all nerds, that's probably a very large amount.
Right. Whereas I probably could name most of the draft prospects, but not. Well, not some of these guys like Kaihua Tazino. He's not getting drafted. Sorry, buddy. Now, Chad, rank them in terms of how you feel they stack up as NFL prospects. Go.
Well, Cole Chewy is really tall and hairy, so probably be a good wide receiver.
Uh-huh. You got it. That's it.
All right. We've got one snack left. It is the newest Girl Scout cookie. Now, we did an entire episode in the archives where we ranked every Girl Scout cookie available, and that included 2 different versions of the s'mores cookie and everything you could find. Now, in that ranking, there was a lemon cookie that has since been discontinued and replaced by a new lemon cookie. Now, the one we tried last time, correct me if I'm wrong, was like a smaller, like circular type of cookie with a bunch of a powder on the outside.
Yep.
Much different than this. Now, these what is the actual name on the box of these lemon cookies?
Lemon Ups.
Okay. It looks very much like a standard kind of sugar cookie. It is flat and round, and they have sayings on the front. I have 2 here. One says, "I am strong." One says, "I am gutsy." What do you guys have? What does your cookie say?
I've got I am creative and go-getter.
I am a risk taker and I am a leader. Very empowering.
Geiger, when you came home with these cookies, did you say to Betsy, Jack Lemmon died, and they ground up his remains and put him into cookies called Lemon Ups?
I did. I extended that joke from 2 years ago, assuming she'd...
Remember when Jack Lemmon died? Is Jack Lemmon still actually alive, or is he dead?
No, he's dead.
Okay.
Novak, you mentioned flat and round. That's actually the title of my homemade porno movie.
What?
What?
I'm round, and I don't know. Moving on. So,
My homemade porno is called When a Woman and a Set of Flowers Love Each Other. They
Right.
tenderly caress each other for a couple of years until one of them steals the other one away.
It's a really long title.
Mm-hmm.
These are, I will say, better than the previous lemon cookie.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm getting that much lemon in them. It's very subtle.
It's definitely lemony.
This is a hard rating.
This is very hard. So you have to rate them, and then we also have to think about where you would put them in our... We did a Girl Scout Cookie Mount Snack more. Tagalong's one. So try to think about where you would put these. Obviously, they're not better than, like, you know, the top cookies, right? Like,
Yeah.
which I think were Tagalongs and Do-si-dos.
Right.
Okay, I am up first. It's not a bad cookie. I'm really torn between a like and an indifferent. Boy, I think I'm going to stick with a high level indifferent. I don't think there's enough there to make me want to go back and eat more of these or ever order another box of them. I feel like they might actually be really in the middle of the rankings of the Girl Scout cookies. I could think of some I like a lot less. I could think of a number that I like much more than this. They're okay. I think they've improved upon the old lemon cookie from last year, but I don't think they have a home run here. Unfortunately, I'm just going to have to give these an indifferent to dat, a high level indifferent. I think they've got some promise, but it's just not hitting on the right notes for me. Geiger, what do you feel?
Are they not buttery enough for you?
They're not buttery, and actually, I have gone through an entire box of trefoils already this year. So, Geiger, do you like these lemon cookies?
I think you summed up my feelings pretty well. I kind of laughed at first when Chad said they weren't lemony, but I do think now I've eaten a little more, I understand what he's saying. It's almost like the bite of the lemon is there, but not a taste of lemon. I don't know if I'm describing that exactly right, but
Yeah.
it's almost like I feel like I'm eating the lemon rind, if that makes sense, right? Not the lemon. It's like it tastes like a lemon smells. They're okay. I'm getting very esoteric here. Sorry. But what truly is a lemon?
It tastes like thoughts.
What is lemon truly?
What is a lemon but not the juice of one? It tastes fine. I'm not a huge fan. It's not terrible. It's better than the other lemon cookie by far. Lemon flavored stuff is not necessarily my go-to anyway, although I will say a nice lemon bar is like a refreshing, like different type of dessert. I don't hate them. I don't love them. They're right in the middle. Indifferent to that. I think I don't need to say much more. I think Novak kind of summed it up.
Whew, okay, so Chad, if you really love these things, then we've got a match here. But there's also a possibility that here in election season, there might be a pamphlet waiting for you on the doorstep.
Boy, I want to like these things. You know, I really think they have potential, but there's no lemon. I need that lemon, and it's not there.
What were you missing?
Lemon.
Hmm.
I'm missing my boy Jack Lemon. It's just too plain with that. They need to dial up the lemon a little bit. I'm right in line with you, so I'm just gonna also give it an indifferent to that. At the top, I wanted to go like that, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
Do you feel like it kind of fits in the middle of the Girl Scout cookie rank?
Well, I remember actually not liking most of the Girl Scout cookies. I'd actually put it on the upper end. I mean, it's for sure worse than Tagalongs and worse than... There was one of the s'mores cookies that we liked and one that was not as good. So I think it's probably falls right in between those s'mores cookies.
All right. The winner today, with a couple of likes early on, is the Munch Bar. So surprise, surprise, pick up one of those Munch Bars. In the future upcoming episodes, we're going to be going around the globe pretty soon. We're going to Mexico, Australia, England. So we'll be trying snacks from all over the place. We hope you'll tune in for that. Geiger, where can the listeners contact us? Tell us about their favorite old 70s porn.
Well, Nick, I'd like to tell you, but I'm a pretty upstanding family man, and I wouldn't know a single porn site if you asked me. So, yep, sorry, can't help you. Maybe you could fill us in there. What are your favorite porn sites, especially this from the 70s?
There's one having to do with lemons.
Yeah.
Who wants to lemon up?
No, definitely watch some porn. Jack it off. Do whatever feels good for you. And then, where am I going with this? If you want to reach out to us separately from that, wipe your hands off, wash them thoroughly, and then type in You Tried Dat into the computer, and it'll come up with several sites. Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on YouTube, we are on Instagram, and then we're also generally available wherever you listen to your podcasts. We would love it if you could ask us a question for the mailbag, if you could give us your thoughts on the ratings, make suggestions for new ratings, and most importantly, if you do enjoy the podcast, we'd love it if you could drop us a review.
Look, Geiger, enough with the social medias. Are we going to talk about the McDonald's candles or not?
Before the episode,
totally in your court.
We were talking about different things we could talk about in the opening, and Chad said McDonald's candles with this shit-eating grin, and we had no idea what he was talking about. And then I thought it was sort of serendipitous that we just skipped by McDonald's candles and the first segment ran long, but here we go. Tell us about the fucking McDonald's candle.
This better be great. You better knock this shit out of the park here.
No, it's just McDonald's has released a line of 6 custom scented candles inspired by Quarter Pounder ingredients. Here are the 6 scents. You tell me what you guys think. Bun, ketchup, pickle, cheese, onion, and 100% fresh beef.
Bun?
So those are the 6 candles. Would you buy any of those? And if so, what's wrong with you?
Why? I don't understand why you want your house to smell like ketchup.
That's the worst. That really is the worst.
It says that McDonald's suggests homeowners burn all 6 candles simultaneously for, quote, maximum delicious.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think the bun might actually be one of the top ones there because it just might taste like bread.
Yeah, make your house smell like a bakery, right?
It's just so weird. I'm putting on this bun candle. What?
But the rest of them, ketchup would be the worst.
I've never came home and say, I wish my house smelled more like McDonald's.
The worst has got to be beef, right? Because your house is going to smell like a slaughterhouse.
What are the
so butcher or something.
It's bun, beef, ketchup, onion, and pickle, and cheese.
Cheese, yeah.
Cheese would be bad to smell, too.
That's
just smelling cheese all the time. I grew up in Wisconsin. I don't
mind a smell of onions. Like I kind of get the smell of onions is a little pleasant to me, but not in candle form. Not like purposely filling my house. So,
all right. So, like the title of my old 70s pornos, just the buns. That's what we're saying here.
I thought the title of your old 70s porno was 100% pure beef. Just you flexing on the front.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
real quickly though, I would like to share a story real quickly. Now that since we're sharing old stories, I told you guys this already for the podcast listeners.
One sec. Let me tell people what they're missing because we've only got time for this last story. My original question after the thing was going to be, no, we're not getting to this. It was going to be, how many Jack Lemons would it take to defeat Shaq in a basketball game? But we're not getting there.
How many Jack Lemons would it take to beat Shaq Lemon?
So, instead, we're going with Geiger's story. So, Geiger, what do you got?
Oh, you don't have to put it on me like that.
Yeah, because everyone was dying to hear us talk about.
Yeah, thank you for saving us.
8 Jack Lemons against Shaq.
It's actually Shaquille O'Neal related. I actually told you guys this story the other day.
Oh yeah,
and it's current Jack Lemons, so they're all dead.
Yeah.
So how many?
Yeah.
50,000? Just so he's climbing over a mountain of them.
Just zombie Jack Lemons trying to drag Shaq down as he's dunking. I was watching a Bucks game, and the pregame show was on TNT. So Shaq was, an analyst on the show, and my wife is just like flipping through Facebook on her iPad, not paying attention. And she glances up briefly and goes, "Who's that?" And I go, "Oh, that's Shaq." And like without looking up, she goes, "Doesn't he have AIDS?" And I don't know why. It's the way she said it. I just couldn't stop laughing. And I said, "Yes, he's the world's first 400-pound AIDS patient." He's like, somehow doesn't waste away like the rest of them. And then she goes, well, what? I thought he had it. I'm like, that's Magic Johnson, and he had HIV. They could not be more different. Well, they could be a lot different, I guess.
They could
They're
be
both
a
basketball
They
players.
could be much more different.
Yeah, they could be me versus Shaq. That'd be
Right.
much
Oh.
different.
Oh, Magic and Shaq. I thought you were saying HIV and AIDS could
That's
not
what
be
I
more
thought you
different.
were
And I'm like, yeah, they definitely could be more different.
They could not be completely less related, except that one leads to the other. Look, no. I was talking about AIDS and unprotected sex, sharing needles. None of those things are linked. Everyone knows. No, but it's not funny that it just so for the way she just says like, doesn't he have AIDS? Like real offhand, and I could not stop laughing. So there you go. Anyway, back to Jack Lemmon.
Okay, so here's how we're gonna end the show today. I'm gonna say, we'll see you next time. We're trying 3 brand new snacks. You guys say your lines, deuces and yep, and then immediately after yep, you need to say your honest answer. How many Jack Lemmons it would take to defeat live Jack Lemmons? So we'll say he's like whatever he was when he was famous at the end. So 70-year-old Jack Lemmon to defeat Shaq in his prime in a basketball game. There's some number, right? Because Shaq's not getting around like 200 Jack Lemmons. So you have to say your actual number, how many to defeat Shaq in a basketball game.
We're just all saying it at the same time.
So we're going to say, see you next time. Deuces, yep. And then everyone says their number at the same time, and the music will play over that number. Okay.
Brilliant.
Are we just trying to sound like idiots?
So
Or is that...
Has everybody got their number in their head?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that'll wrap it up for this time. We'll see you next time. We'll be trying out 3 brand new snacks.
Deuces.
Yep.
Deuces.
27.